back to my channel. So I am going to be making a few recipes today, so I just wanted to show that to you guys. So right now I have about 3 chicken breasts that I've washed and cleaned and all that good stuff, and I'm just cutting them into like small-ish chunks like you would for like a popcorn chicken. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And you can use chicken thighs if you want. I know a lot of people prefer chicken thighs because they're juicier. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna attempt to make this in the air fryer. So hopefully it will come out good. Just cut those. So that's about the size you want. So I am just prepping the first part of my meal, because I am having some people over for iftar. So to start, I am just going to, so I've cubed my chicken, so we're gonna put about a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of garlic powder, not garlic salt, garlic powder, a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of chili powder. We're gonna do maybe just 2 teaspoons of olive oil. And then I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of this dark soy sauce. I think about 2 tablespoons of egg. 1, maybe 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then we're gonna give this a really good mix. So you want to make sure that all that good breading gets in there. You want to spread that. Alright, so this is kind of, try to get the lighting on this, what your chicken looks like. And so we're just going to refrigerate it for like 2 hours. And then we're just going to coat it a little bit of flour. And then pop it in the air fryer and try, let's see what happens. Yeah. All right, so now I'm just gonna go cook my rice, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, so I'm just preparing my air fryer here, and the great thing about air fryer is obviously you don't need a lot of oil, but it helps to just brush the bottom and the sides with some olive oil. And so I just have some plain flour here that I'm just going to drop my chicken pieces into. Again, you can just fry this in a pan, or you could shallow fry it or deep fry it, whatever you prefer. But I really wanted to try the air fryer just as a healthier option. And so I'm just placing my first batch of chicken just on a flat surface in the bottom of the fryer, and then just drizzling it with a little bit more olive oil on top. So while my chicken is cooking, I'm just sauteing some cashews in a little bit of butter, and I just want to get them nice and golden brown. And then I'm going to take those out and use the same butter, and I'm going to add some whole dried chilies and some ginger garlic paste and onions and peppers, and I'm just going to cook this down until they're a little bit soft but not too soft. So I was just breaking up the onion pieces here. To this, I'm going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of dark soy sauce. Dark soy sauce is very strong, so you don't want to put too much of it. And I'm going to do 2 generous tablespoons of sweet chili sauce, and then about 1/2 cup of water. And we're just going to let this simmer and bring it to a boil. And I did add some of those cashews we fried earlier. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons or about a teaspoon and a half of garlic hoisin sauce. It's your preference if you want to add more or not. And then I'm just going to add some scallions to this and give this a good mix. And I just want to bring it to a nice simmer. And I'm going to dilute about a teaspoon of cornstarch in some water just to thicken up my sauce. And then I'm going to be adding my chicken that I air fried. I did find the texture of this to be a little bit on the chewier side because I did cook it ahead of time, so I think maybe if I did it right away it would have been more crunchy and crispy, but it was just an experiment and it still tasted great, but I think if the chicken was fried it would have been a little bit better. So I'm just going to give this a good mix and then add the remaining cashews and scallions and just a drizzle of sesame oil, and that is done. So for our next dish, we're going to be making a fried rice. So I just have some butter and oil in my pan with a little bit of chopped up garlic. To this, I'm going to be adding some onion and peppers and scallions. You can add any vegetables you like. This is what I had, and I'm just trying to do a quick, simple fried rice. So we're just going to saute this all together, and you want to get them just slightly soft so that you don't have like hard vegetables in your fried rice, which is never nice. So I'm just going to give this a good mix, and I'm going to be seasoning it very lightly with some salt, pepper, and chili flakes, and a teaspoon of garlic powder as well. And then we're just going to give this a really good mix and just make sure all those spices are cooked down, and we're just going to saute it. And then once you've done that for a little bit, just cover it so the veggies soften, and then I'm going to create a little pool for my egg. You can do 1 egg, 2 eggs, 3 eggs, whatever you prefer. I thought 1 was just good for me, and so I just scrambled it up a little bit, and then I'm just breaking up my rice in the background because you don't want big chunks of rice. So we're just going to let the veggies and the eggs mix together and cook down, and then to this I'm going to be adding all of my rice in and just giving it a good toss. So to my rice, I'm just going to be adding about a tablespoon and a half of soy sauce and a little bit of sesame oil. And then I'm just going to give this a really good toss. Just mix all of those veggies and the egg and the rice together. And that's honestly it. If you want to do more, you can add more spices, but this was perfect for me. And I just garnished it with some scallions, and that was done. The third dish that I was making was a garlic and chili soy sauce green beans. So into a little bit of olive oil, I added some chopped garlic, about 3 cloves, depending on how many green beans you have. And so I just wanted that to sizzle up a little bit, just brown lightly. And then to this, I'm going to be adding my green beans. So I'm just tossing this up, and this is something you're just going to have to keep occasionally doing. Just bring up that garlic and that oil so that all the green beans kind of get coated in that nice rich garlicky taste. And so I've just covered it to let that steam cook it down a little bit. And then to this, I'm going to be adding my soy sauce. So about a tablespoon and a half, and then just a little bit of garlic powder and a dash of chili flakes. And I'm just going to give this another good toss. And basically that's all you really need for this dish. You can add a little bit of salt too if you prefer, but I find that the soy sauce has just the right amount of salt for me. And then I just keep cooking this until it's just perfect for me. So if you like it a little bit softer, you can do softer, more crunchy, whichever way you like it. But that's it, and it is perfect with rice or any noodle dishes. So the final dish we're making today is a soup. So in my pot I have some chicken, and I'm just going to be pouring water just to cover the surface of the chicken. To this, I'm going to be adding about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, a little wedge of ginger, and I'm just going to lightly season this water with some pepper, black pepper, and some salt. You can add a bouillon cube if you want. Unfortunately, I didn't have one with me, but that's okay. It still tasted amazing. So basically, we just want to bring your chicken to a full boil and just cook completely through. And once it is fully cooked, we're just going to take the chicken out of the water, set it aside, and what we're going to do is just pull off that delicious meat from the bone, and we're going to replace it back in. So now for the soup part, I'm going to be adding 1 whole can of cream style corn. Make sure it's cream style though, it's not going to work. And then to this, I'm just going to give that a good mix and then add a little bit more water so I can have more soup. I'm going to be seasoning this with some salt and some chili flakes, and I'm also going to be adding a little bit of the green onion in there just to get that flavor and give that a nice good mix. So I'm just shredding the chicken, just making sure all that delicious chicken is off the bone, and you don't want any bones in this. So I'm going to be putting the chicken back into the soup, and it's simmering this entire time. You don't want to turn off the fire. And then to this, I'm going to add, it's about 2 egg whites that I whisked together. And so to do this part, you just need to create like a pool of the soup. So you just gotta keep stirring the soup with one hand and pouring the egg mixture from up top. So just a few feet above the pot so that your egg cooks in like little slivers as opposed to like one big clump. And so you just gotta create a pool and pour the egg in and just give that a good mix. And then to this, I'm just going to be adding a little bit of diluted cornstarch and just giving that a good mix. And that's pretty much it. Just make sure you check for seasoning like salt and pepper and spice and all that good stuff. And I'm just going to add a little bit more scallions, and that's pretty much it. And just let it simmer for a few more minutes and you have an amazing, delicious creamed corn soup. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed all these amazing recipes. I know it was kind of rushed, but I am trying to learn to film better videos and edit them better. All the recipes, all the ingredients will be in the description box down below, and if you definitely like what you saw, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, share, and inshallah I will be posting new videos at least once a week. Inshallah, I will definitely try. Again, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you guys are having an amazing Ramadan, and I'll catch you guys next time.